everybody, it's Dawn, and welcome to Work It, You Are Worth It. Been a few days since I did a video, and my son has been like, Mom, it's been so many days. So I strolled up to Panera today and came back and thought, you know what, good day to touch base again. So one of the things that people struggle with early in a 12-step program is, what is a 12, like, what is it going to look like? What is it going to feel like? Um, and so I'm going to try to answer that as best as I can today. I guess the first thing I have to say is it is so different for everybody. What it looks like for me versus the people I sponsor versus the people that come to the meetings versus people that are in other 12-step programs. It's just different. But the one thing I will say about it is it's not easy. Like, this is, for me, has been the hardest thing I've ever done. I worked like I say it's really messy. One of the analogies I use is, you know how after you've been moving and you've been moving stuff out of your place and moving it into the new place, and you realize how much cleaning you thought you were clean until you start moving stuff and there's dust and dirt, and by the end of the day you're so sweaty, so nasty, so gross that you just feel disgusting. You've hurt yourself, your body's sore, you feel like you've been run over by a train, and then you go home and you get in the shower and you stand there for a minute and you just close your eyes and you're just like, because everything just washes away. That is the analogy of, I feel like, if you dig deep in recovery, that's the feeling you're going to get. That where it's just washing away from you, all that dirt, all that hard work, all that stuff is now just going down the drain. And it's a great analogy. It's a great analogy, right? Wash it away, let it go down the drain, let it go. You don't think about what happened to that gunk and that dirt once it left your body, once it goes down the drain. And that's what recovery is like. For me, early steps were harder because I didn't come into recovery until I was about 48 years old. And I had a lot of years being the way I was, very comfortable with the way I was. My life looked very good and organized, and I was a great fraud. And so it was tough. It was tough coming into it, but I had hit rock bottom. That's another video. But I had hit rock bottom and I felt like I had nowhere to go. Like, I couldn't continue living the way I was living. And so I jumped in and I literally clung for dear life. It goes back to, if you've ever moved yourself and that last thing up the stairs, or in the house is like, oh my God, it weighs so much and it's so heavy, but I'm just going to do it because it's like, I'm done. I'm almost done. I'm so close. And so you just hang on and you just push harder. And that's what my recovery journey was like. And I feel like the people I sponsor have had the same kind of feelings, where it's hard to let go. It's hard to let go of that stuff that has defined who you are, who you thought you were. But I'm here to tell you that's not who you were. That's not who you are. Right? What recovery gave me was a clean slate. Like, now here I am, I have this life that I get to start completely fresh. Yes, do I have knowledge? It's not like I'm being reborn, because right, when we're born, we know nothing. We learn everything. Um I wasn't there. Like, I could walk, I could talk, I had a job, I could I knew basic skills in life to get through. But what I had, the clean slate came from, was, who is Dawn? And I had to unwind a lot of those beliefs that I had. And so it became this, recovery became this road of twists and turns and ups and downs. And some days I was good, some days I wasn't. Some days I was even worse than not good. Um, I felt alone. I felt like a failure. I realized I felt like a fraud. Felt like I'm not going to be able to do this. I didn't want to give up, like I said before, didn't want to give up control. But what I did realize was, this wasn't, if I could just buckle in for a minute, not a minute, right? However long it takes, because everybody's time frame is different. Everybody works each step at a different pace. Right? Just because somebody works it in 30 days doesn't mean the next person's not going to take a year. There's no right or wrong in recovery. And recovery is yours. You get to own it. Nobody else should get to define that. I knew my life was unmanageable. I knew I was unmanageable. But so that step was really pretty easy. I just didn't, what was harder about that step, and what I had to go deeper, was realizing how unmanageable it was, how much I had fucked my life up. Just because I didn't know any better. I didn't know any different. Because of my choices. And as I continued into, step 2, and, realizing a higher power, greater than myself, and defining what that was. And, last video I talked about higher power, and how I came to that, and how I work with it today. And being able to just let it go, hand it over. That was probably the hardest part, because I was so used to controlling everything, that I was so scared not to be controlling things. And that fear held me back. It held me back from moving forward in my recovery. And for me, I was fortunate. I ended up taking, right after I had been in CODA not even a month, and I had come out of the relationship that brought me here the second time. I was ready to have a mental break, and my therapist was like, "You got to take some time off. You have to." And I was, "No, I'm okay." And she'd been nagging me about that, not nagging me, right? Encouraging me for 6 months to do that. And no, I'm okay, right? Of course, my job can't make it without me. So how do I take time off? But there was a day I walked into or left the office, and was like, I was either going to lose my job, or I had to take some time off. And I did. I walked into her office and I said, okay, I'm ready. And I spent the next 6 weeks, my full-time job was CODA, reading and focusing on how to change me and what to work on, and getting to a mental state of being open to there is more in life than what I've been living. And I believe that time off allowed me to get deep into this. And I went to meetings, and I was going to therapy, and I would get up in the morning and I would head to Barnes and Noble, and I would spend 4 or 5 hours um, reading and writing and journaling, and just trying to figure out what I needed to do. And it didn't solve it. It didn't make it didn't make the road easier. The road was still what it was, but it just really allowed me to understand what path I was on. And, again, I want to go back to, kind of circle back to what recovery looks like. There is no right or wrong. There is no set path. There is, if you check out the Facebook page, someone posted a video, and it's so spot on of what recovery looks like. And it's this guy, it's a piece of art, and he's walking up a stairs, and he falls off and hits a trampoline, and he bounces back up. But if you watch his foot placement on the stairs, he takes a step forward, and he falls, and he's taking a step back. And then he'll take a couple of steps, and he falls, and he comes back, and maybe he's only a step backwards, one step down. But it's this constant process. And then he gets to the top. He finally gets to the top. He falls off, and he comes back on, but he can't find his footing, and he's back and forth. And it's such a great analogy of what recovery is, because recovery is not just walking up a set of steps and never falling off the steps, never falling down, because it is. I have, like I said, I have sponsees. I have seen people not work the steps without a sponsor. They get in Power 5 groups. They're going to meetings. They find meetings that challenge them. They find accountability partners who want to work the steps with them. There is no right or wrong. But the most important thing I feel in recovery is you have to find accountability partners. You have to find people, not one, not two. You need to have a group of 10 plus people that you can confide in, that you can say, man, I spiraled and I had a really bad codependent moment and I didn't handle it well. Or people that you can tell them, this is what I did. I thought I did really well handling it. And they're like, what about this? What about that? Was that? And the awareness, the calling you on your bullshit. Nothing makes me happier when somebody calls me on my bullshit and says that what I thought was healthy behavior isn't. Because if I don't know, if I am not aware of what is and what isn't, how do I get better? How do I get better and live a better quality life and become authentic to who I am? Become authentic to me, to other people. Accountability partners don't have to be a conversation on the phone. All they have to be is a group text that you just dump and nobody says a word, because sometimes you just have to get it out. So as you consider consider checking out Codependence Anonymous, sorry, my light keeps flickering. I don't know why. Consider getting on the program, or, getting on a road to self-love and self-discovery, remember that there will be times that it isn't going to be smooth and you're going to take steps backwards, but you have to have people. That doesn't mean they have to be your BFFs and you have to hang out with them 24/7. It just means these are people that are here. Sorry, I'm going to fix that light. People that are here to support you, to support you on your journey. I hope this video helps. It helps to understand, that recovery isn't simple. It's very, very, like I said, very different for everyone, and there's no right or wrong. And however long it takes, the road you take, the path, your choice, that it's yours. Nobody owns your recovery. Even if it's a sponsor, if it's an accountability partner, if it's a therapist, if it's a meeting, if it's someone in the meeting, it is not theirs. It is yours. You get it. Your choice. As long as you are working hard and this feels difficult, if you feel the difficulty of it, but you keep on, where, this doesn't fit well, it's like a little tight and I'm not liking it, but you know what? It's like a pair of jeans, right? You put a pair of jeans on out of the dryer and they are tight, but in a few hours, do some squats, get moving, they're going to loosen on up and you'll fit into them. They'll be comfortable. That's what this is about. It's just allowing yourself to be uncomfortable for a moment to get the awareness and the information that you need to be able to live differently. So again, hope this helps. Love you all. Check out the website. I'll put the website in the on the bottom of the screen right there. Check out the Facebook page. There's links on the Facebook page. There's links to the Instagram page. There's a link to the Thursday night meeting that's on there for Codependence Anonymous, the Work It, You Are Worth It meeting. So I hope everyone will come and check out the website, and love to all, and just keep coming back, because you just work it, because you are worth it. Love you. Bye.